Back, everyone, to Live Series with Jen and George. I'm Jen.
I'm George. What's up? Got my green on, feeling real luck of the Irish.
Yeah, I like it.
Good Disney movie
Celebrating
from
all
back
week.
in the day.
Yeah.
You celebrate all week? Are you
No, I
Irish?
don't. No, I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody has to know.
You have a very Irish name. You sure you're not Irish? Very Irish name.
Pretty sure.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
possibly. Who knows? Finn.
Yes, today we have a very special episode. We have our first party pod, and we're going to wrap up our personal trainer episodes. So we're going to try to finish all of the questions we have left and yeah, just have a fun chat with Emily and Reno.
Good name. He sounds like a card player from back in the day.
Card player.
Or a male stripper. That's
Oh,
a good male stripper name for
we can
sure.
ask him about that.
If he's looking for a second career, I'm just saying it would work. He's already
He's got the name
into
for it.
physical fitness. He's got the name. I don't I can only see his heads, but I can only imagine he's got a pretty decent body. He probably just needs somebody to push him toward that direction. Like,
What's
yo,
up?
that's gonna
Welcome
be
back, Reno.
Thank you.
You came in at a very awkward time. George is
super
talking about
awkward.
different career options for you.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, male stripper. Good name. You got a good name for a male
Oh,
stripper for
thanks.
sure.
I don't know about that one, but
Yeah, you got to get out here and get it cracking. Times are hard out here.
yeah.
So sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
Welcome back to the pod, though.
Awesome.
George, do you want to start with one of your random questions before Emily hops on?
Sure. You know,
Besides, if you're going to be a stripper.
well, that's an after hours show right there. So I do have a question. So when it comes to music and working out, like, do you have like a go-to song that you always listen
Ooh,
to that gets you pumped up like every time?
not really, no. I kind of just do whatever I'm kind of feeling for the day. So like what I'm driving to the gym
Mm.
for, then I kind of just continue listening to that, and it can vary from day to day. Like some days it's like we're going like pure country, some days we're going like 90s rap, some days we're going like hard rock, stuff like that. So it completely varies day by day for me.
That's good.
Hmm.
That's good to know. That's good to.
Do you
Jen, do
have
you
like a
have a
top
song?
five songs that you typically go to when you're listening to either of those
Mm.
genres?
Ooh, top five. I mean, I love for like working out, maybe not necessarily song wise, but probably artist wise. I mean, I can go anything DMX, like Johnny Cash, South Park Mexican. Trying to think some other ones that are like really getting up and going. Avenged Sevenfold's on the list. So yeah, big variety there
Oh
from
yeah,
Love it.
that's a lot of different
Welcome,
people for
welcome.
sure.
yeah, yeah.
uh,
We're talking about favorite music to listen to when you're working out. If you want to jump in on that, Emily. Not to put you on the spot right away.
Well,
Welcome in.
um, I listen to country music.
Okay.
I love country music. I'll listen to the saddest songs, but I love it. It like feeds my soul. I don't know. But I also like hip hop and like old rock. I like it all.
Do you have songs that you prefer, George, when you work out?
um, you know, I I don't know if I have like go-to songs. I try to listen to something different every time. I just love good music to pump up. It also depends on what I'm working out, like what I'm working that day. Like if I need like a leg workout, like a real intense leg workout, I'll probably bump some DMX or like hip hop tends to be like my go-to or like Bruno Mars. I listen to a little bit of everything except country music. I don't really listen to country music, but everything else I'm pretty in tune with. But yeah, sometimes you got to change the song because it's like every once in a while, like it'll be a random song and it'll be like, man, this is really sad. and it just kind of because I don't like to think when I'm working out. I just like to work out. So if I
Mhm.
listen to like something that I listen to the actual lyrics to, it kind of like gets me off track.
Mm.
How about yourself?
I'm one of the weird ones that I don't like to listen to too much. I like to have like the surrounding noise, but if I were to listen to anything, it's usually hip hop, R&B, pop, no country. I'm so sorry, you guys.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
We are working on a country playlist, so if you guys have suggestions for like our playlist, we'd love to have
Okay.
your suggestions.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And I just want to put a disclaimer. Some of these questions, I'm just reading them. I did not write
Mhm.
them, so don't judge me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm just the messenger. The first one, do you ever look at your client like, wow, you're almost a beached whale?
oh, God damn! What kind
Dang.
of question is that?
Yeah.
I'm
Do you
just
want
a
to go first,
messenger.
Rito, or do you want me to go first?
I'll have you take this one first.
No, I never think that. I think everyone starts their fitness journey in a different place with different circumstances. So, yeah, I think anyone that feels that way about people in general, probably one, don't work with them and probably shouldn't. But yeah, no, there's never a time where I'm like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? Because you want to hear out their story and figure out what their goals are and how they have, I don't want to say like gotten there, like that doesn't come out correctly, but what were the circumstances that have changed in your life? Or even, like some people, I've had clients where they're like, my parents didn't like prioritize exercise or healthy eating. So it's kind of like you're breaking like a generational, I don't want to say curse, but like generational habits and ways of living. So it can be really courageous and brave of some people to jo start that journey.
Mhm. And also, too, it's like if you're at the gym, it's like obviously you're trying to work on it, so don't be hard on
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah.
Yeah. I personally have never thought that. Like, again, piggybacking off what Emily said, like everyone has their own reasons why they're starting or where they're at in their fitness journey at each every day. So like to have a thought that I mean, there are people that do make assumptions like that and thoughts like that, but it's like you shouldn't feel any type of like that judgment in especially the gym where you are trying to better yourself, whatever that may be looking like, whether it's gaining weight, losing weight, everything like that. So,
Mhm. Yeah, a lot of these are like they're kind of like sad 'cause it's like a lot of you can tell like so many people are discouraged by the gym and like intimidated.
mhm.
So this
It's
is
hard
going to
not
be
to
like
be.
kind of like a hopefully inspirational to some of these people and
Mhm.
just like, yeah, I can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then kind of piggybacking off of that, do you ever want to laugh at your client but don't because you have to be professional? Which I'm like, people,
Damn.
I know. Like, who hurt you? I'm so
I feel
sorry.
like I'm never laughing at a client. I will laugh with a client. Like I had a
Mhm.
client today who struggles with flexibility, and I made him do a forward fold, and we were giggling because his forward fold looked like a triangle because he couldn't get his hands like to his feet. So like I'll laugh with a client,
Mhm.
but never at. I think again, everyone has their own circumstances. Like, I don't know, maybe that client had an ACL surgery where they had to remove part of their hamstring to repair the ACL, and that affects their flexibility. So everyone has
Mhm.
their own story.
For sure.
Yeah, definitely same. I haven't like laughed at a client, definitely laughing with. If they're able to make jokes about their situation, it's entirely different. And if they're laughing about it, then I'll laugh with them. But if it's purely like a judgmental outlook where it's like I'm laughing at them, never.
Mm.
Mhm. Yeah, I think a lot of people have such like a the gym is so intimidating and everyone's
Mhm.
thinking everyone's so fit, but it's like there's so many people there that, you know, are so
Yeah,
many
Yeah.
different levels, starting points.
right.
And it also
Small
depends on
steps are big
what
steps.
gym you're at, you know? If
Hmm.
you go
Yeah.
to a gym where there's a lot of like bodybuilders per se, you're gonna feel really like if you're like someone who judges themselves by other people and you walk in Because Lifetime Fitness could be like that, especially depending on what time you go, or like
Hmm.
gyms like that, the really expensive ones. You go in there and everyone's got a six pack and you don't. If you're someone who like judges yourself by other people, you're gonna probably that's probably just not the gym for you. If you
Hmm.
feel like you're really self-conscious, being around like super fit physical like specimens is gonna make you feel very like it's just gonna make you feel bad every time
Hmm.
you walk in.
Mhm.
Yeah, you got to find your environment.
Hmm.
For
Definitely.
sure. Yeah. What is the best diet for someone with Crohn's disease? I don't know if this is a little
Whoa,
too more
that's a
in depth for you
specific
guys,
question.
but
Mm.
I think biggest thing is work with their doctor on that because they're gonna
Hmm.
know more about your situation than we do, especially off of
Hmm.
like a question like that. I know Crohn's, and people can correct me if I'm wrong. From what I understand, it has a lot to do with inflammation.
Hmm.
So my biggest advice with that is sugars, like refined sugars, are known to kind of cause a lot of inflammation. So probably cutting down and staying away from sugar would be helpful. But again, I would work with a doctor or a nutritionist on that.
Hmm.
It's going to look different for everyone. And I think a lot of it's going to probably be trial and error because it'll probably look different for every person. Like one person with Crohn's probably looks a little different than another person with Crohn's, depending on, everything else medically that it's just really bio individual,
Hmm.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's very bio-individual because I have a friend that has Crohn's and he gets like really inflamed when he eats like really fatty foods. So I think it's entirely because, like, from just base research, I thought it was sugar too. And then when he was like, well, after enough trial and error and working with a nutritionist, it's fatty foods that do it for me. So definitely needs to, the person would need to like work with their general physician and then either a registered dietitian or nutritionist for that one for really pinpointing that diet.
What's there is like a, and again I would work with a professional in that field on this, but it's a certain diet where you like remove those things. What is it called? Reno, you might
Oh,
know. Like it's not ABC diet, that's the wrong
mm-mm.
name. But
Yeah,
you
that's the
like
wrong.
you'll like remove sugar, remove gluten, remove fat, and then slowly
Hmm.
introduce every single one at a time and
Hmm.
see what causes kind of those flare-ups.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
remember what it is off the top of my head, but I know exactly what you're talking about because they do it sometimes for like intolerances as well.
yes,
So,
yes, yeah. Yeah, so that might be like a good way to kind of start, like
mhm,
removing some things from your diet and then putting them back in and see if it affects. I don't know. It's really different for everybody.
mhm,
Mhm. This one's kind of an interesting one, and I'm kind of interested to see what you guys say about it. Because there's some workouts you guys had me do where I'm just like, I'm feeling this, but not how you're saying I should feel it. Is lack of a burn in the muscle an indicator that it's not working properly? And if it's burning in an area that it shouldn't be targeted, does that mean you're doing it wrong, or just they are weaker muscles that need to strengthen before feeling the burn in the main area, if that makes sense?
Go first, Reno.
I mean, what we could look into there would be it's either, like you said, kind of it's that weaker muscle that hasn't been developed properly or activated in that way, or we're doing the movement in a way that our body doesn't react to it properly. So, like whether it's a flexibility issue, mobility issue, and then we're compensating with another body part. That's
Yeah, I agree. I would piggyback off of that and saying everyone's body has a little bit, I like to say different mechanics.
mhm,
Um, again with mobility with someone that has really long legs versus a shorter torso and like vice versa, they might feel different sensations in different muscles based on the makeup the makeup of their body.
mhm,
I think certain things to keep an eye out for, like if you're doing movements and having strain or pain in your back, that's something that can cause injury. So, like, is my core engaged in this movement? And by engaged, I always say like bracing, like someone's gonna punch you in the stomach, or big inhale, big exhale, zipping up from that pelvic floor to that sternum, like your core is a corset. Um, because I always say like engaging your core is going to protect your back always. So any movement, if you're feeling strain or pain in that lower back, um, if that's like the biggest thing. Other than that, it could be a lot of different things. Yeah.
Ask your trainer. Get a
Yeah.
trainer, ask
Yeah,
Yeah. Get a
absolutely.
trainer and ask.
your trainer.
So I think you see a lot of the as this is more like the big muscle head guys. How important do you guys feel is cardio to your physical like fitness in general?
For general fitness, I absolutely love it, and I would even prioritize it for people that are like purely looking for that, like, okay, I'm trying to power lift or to bodybuild. Like, we still need to make sure our heart is as healthy as possible, especially because, and this is one we kind of touched on that last one I was on, like the body and the heart in specific can't tell the difference between, say, 250 pounds of lean muscle mass versus body fat. So your heart still has to be healthy enough to supply the blood through that entire body no matter what. So cardio is super important across the board.
Yeah. I agree. I think I like personally hate cardio, so I have to get really creative. Um,
Mhm,
but like even low impact cardio, like walking, is so important.
mhm.
I mean, it's called cardiovascular, right, of your heart, so it's in the name. But yeah, I agree with Reno. Your heart keeps you alive, so you got to keep it healthy.
Mhm.
I'm the same. Hate cardio.
Yeah. I don't know a single person that really likes it. Like even
Yeah.
some marathon runners I know, they're like, I hate it. And they
Yeah.
still continue to run marathons, so I don't get it. But
I think cardio is kind of like reading. When you're forced to do it for like a sport or something, just
mhm,
like reading, when you're forced to read in school, it
I
kind of
agree.
makes you kind of hate it. And it's
Yeah.
the
mhm,
same thing with cardio. Like when you're playing any kind of sport, and it's like when I went from football to cheerleading, I did offensive lineman, so we didn't really have to do a lot of running. And it was
mhm,
like, all right. And people, when you're an offensive lineman, people kind of expect for you to be behind like certain positions. Like if you're in front of the like wide receivers, the wide receivers are going to be in trouble, right? But when you're like cheerleading, it's like everyone has to do cardio, and it's like it doesn't matter, and it's just kind of like fuck, and it kind of makes you hate it after a while because
Right.
it's I think people don't really understand how difficult it is to keep a lot of muscle and like especially like muscle mass, I would say, and
mhm,
do like lots of cardio. It's quite difficult
mhm,
because like depending on what sport or what activity you're doing, like let's say offensive line, they want you to be around 300 to 340 pounds, right? But if
mhm.
you're running all the time, it's really hard to like not lose weight. And
Yep.
it's like it's just really difficult in general. But it's like you got to kind of force yourself to get creative with the cardio.
Do you find it easier to train men versus women or vice versa?
Mm.
I don't know. I don't really feel like it's easier or harder to train either. Like I feel like it just really comes down to what their like possible limitations are, everything like that. So I don't think it's based on gender in any way, shape, or form for me at least.
I don't think it's necessarily harder or easier in terms of like programming or anything like that. I think in terms of like creating a human connection, I connect more with women being a woman. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like
Mm-hmm.
we have shared life experiences, the woman experience, we can kind of connect on that level. But I've had like male clients that I love. I love, hearing about their wife and their kids and all the things. Um, so in terms of like training, I don't think it makes a huge difference in terms of like human connection. I'm just a girl's girl. What can I say?
All right, let's mix it up a little bit. Is there a personality like trait that you find harder to work with than others?
I would, oh, I don't know if there's a personality trait. I would say the hardest one, and I don't know if it's necessarily a personality trait or unawareness of their situation, is like timeliness. Like that's the one that always I find as a struggle is training someone is like, okay, our appointment is at 11 o'clock and they're showing up at like 11:20 and it was like a 30-minute session. I'm like, I already have someone after you at 11:30. So we're now going to have to play around with how we're doing the training. You're going to get less of that one-on-one time, but
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm like a I try to be, wasn't today. Try to be as timely as possible. It is hard, like especially with shorter sessions or longer sessions. It's not that you can't get it in, but it's yeah, I agree. Being timely is really important. It's also like you're paying for my time, utilize it. Because, yeah, we're as trainers, we're usually try to book our people back to back. Or if you're, like, I'm a group fitness instructor, so teaching classes, like sometimes there's no wiggle room in there. And then it really sucks that you paid for my time for 30 minutes or an hour of it, and you only get, 10 minutes or whatever if you're 20
yeah.
minutes late. So also for the benefit of the other person, like be on time for you. I
Hmm.
think it's like not necessarily even a respect thing for me, but like a respect thing for you. Like if you can, and I get, life happens, but
Yeah.
especially the ones that are like every day or every week, you're like, they come, but
Yeah.
they're usually 15 minutes late.
Hmm.
So
hmm
yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad you guys didn't say sarcasm because you both
Oh, I
know
love
me.
it.
I
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
I love it.
sarcasm comes out
Yeah.
strong sometimes.
I love it.
It's all with
Okay, I
love.
got another quick one. Okay, so let's say you only have like a small like amount of time. What is the best like full body workout you could do at the gym that could give you like the most bang for your buck in like let's say you got like 35 minutes.
35 minutes. You want to take this one first, Emily?
Sure. I would say functional movements
Hmm.
because you're creating more stability, and engagement in other places. But I mean, specific movements, it's hard. You could do a bunch of different variations or combinations, but an upper body push and pull, chest back, overhead press, pull up if you can. And then lower body, I'd probably do like a squat, an RDL, um, and then maybe something that's a little more glute focused, like a hip thrust or, glute bridge marches or something in that sense. So that you're also getting a little bit of core work. And then if you can fit it in there, like a plank with hip flexion of some sort. But 3 rounds, we do this a lot because Jenny sometimes, once a week, we only have like 30 minutes together.
Mm.
So we do about, if we don't yap too much, we do about 3 movements 3 times, and then another 3 movements 3 times. We can get through about
Hmm.
6 movements in 30 minutes at
Hmm.
least, if we're really like focused.
Yeah.
We have been lately.
Hmm. My go-to is any type of like kettlebell supersets because you can still do a lot of full body activation. Like if you were to throw in like a kettlebell swing, squat, lunge, and then overhead press and row, just in those 5 minutes, if you were to do like 3 rounds, limiting your rest through it, kind of getting your cardio up as well during that while activating the whole body. That's kind of my go-to for if I'm like really crunched on time and needing to get just like a workout in, get a good sweat going. That's kind of my go-to.
That's a good one. Yeah, like compounding movements, like maybe a
Hmm.
hit, like a thrust or a squat with an overhead press.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
What, in your opinion, is the least effective workout?
Least effective workout.
I don't know if there is one. I feel like if people are moving, that's like a win.
Hmm.
I mean, if you're someone that's like trying to bodybuild and you're doing water aerobics, you're probably not gonna like meet your goals.
Yeah.
But I think as long as you're moving and you're getting your heart rate up,
Hmm.
that's like a positive.
Yeah.
Even like the people who go and play basketball for like an hour in the basketball courts, like that's great. That's
Yeah.
great cardio workout.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know if there's like a least effective. I, being weird, I don't like machines as much,
Mm.
but they're great for isolation. So again, it's
Hmm.
like it depends on the goals, I guess.
Yeah. It would 100% be based on goals. Like you said, if you were trying to bodybuild and you're taking like water aerobics class 5 times a week and not doing anything weight related, then yeah, it could be kind of ineffective for your goal. But as for like just general exercise, I don't think there's really an ineffective one.
I'm sure
That's
that's
a
music
good
to a
one.
lot of people's ears. Oh,
Yeah.
I do got one. Okay. This is for both of you. So, do you guys have a dream celebrity client that like if you could, you would love to like just be this personal trainer?
Honestly, not really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've never really thought of like training celebrities or anything like that. So no, not really.
Maybe
I
you
think it'd
guys
be
need to look
cool
into
to
that.
be
That's
like,
good
Yeah.
money right there.
yeah, it'd be cool to be like someone like Kim Kardashian's trainer, where she has like a gym in her house.
Hmm.
You're just, you're training her probably like every morning for about an hour. She probably
Hmm.
pays amazing,
Yeah.
you know? So maybe someone that has like a gym in their house and we're not like in the general population. They provide all
Hmm.
the equipment and all the stuff, and I just like show up and do my thing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
love that. Have you ever had to fire a client due to them not making progress or not taking it seriously? Or is it more just easy money to you?
I've never like fired a client in that sense. Like I've had some kind of like stern sit down talks, and then it's on their hands if they want to continue. Especially because I don't want them wasting their money. Like that's the biggest one. If you're not going to take it seriously and want to progress towards your goals and not make whatever changes it may be, I don't want you wasting your money. It may not just be the right time for that step into the fitness journey, everything like that. But I mean, even then, if they're coming in and still getting some movement in, it's better than nothing. So I would never like fire a client, so to say, in that sense.
I guess you could say I kind of fired a client. It was a male client and he called me pretty. And I
Mm.
immediately was like, okay, you're gonna have a male trainer. I'm gonna hand you off to a male trainer. Because that's just a boundary. Like, nope, no,
Mhm.
we're not doing that. It's not gonna, no. So maybe, but I guess I never really fired him because he still ended up training with a male trainer. Um, yeah, I don't know. A lot of training sometimes is the accountability aspect. Um, so it is frustrating of like being that accountability, and then yeah, when you have to have those stern sit downs of like, you know, hey, are we ready for this? Are you
Mhm.
ready for this? Is this what you really want? Because you're wasting your money. So, no, I don't think I've ever really fired a client. Not that I can remember.
Mhm.
Hopefully you never have to, you know?
Yeah.
I'm sure the day will come.
Oh yeah. I'm sure we'll find someone that it's like you just do too much or something, and it's like I can't handle this. We're pushing you onto someone else, or like even if it was something that comes down to just like crossing boundaries way too much of a possible like issue with the gym itself, like possibly getting like not banned per se, but like kind of blacklisted a little bit.
Mhm. Yep, for sure.
So, all right, I'm 41. So, what sports do you recommend for like some of the older people, or guys over like a certain age? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, when I was younger, I could play football, but now it's like, ew, like, but then like I also don't want to play golf. So it's like, what would be a good like suggestion? It's like a good rec sport to get into. Pickleball,
Pickleball.
maybe? Oh.
Yeah.
I think it depends on your limitations and all the things.
Hmm.
Like I have a client, she's in her 70s. She loves cycling. She does like
Mm.
cycling through the mountains. She goes on bike rides with her husband. I have a client who loves pickleball. I have a client who plays rec soccer.
Hmm.
So I think it's just dependent on your interests. I would say try some things, especially something
Hmm.
like football, obviously, is like a contact sport and probably harder to do outside of um like school organizations. So I think yeah, try some new things. I mean like try golf. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you can join a like gentleman's club. You might like that. You don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
not.
true.
Maybe you
When
don't
I
like it.
hear gentleman's club, I definitely
I
think of
my
something
head went
different.
somewhere
But
else,
Is
but
that
I'm
a
like,
stripper club?
yeah.
yeah,
Isn't there
okay.
like a isn't there like a man's club or something that golfers do where it's like men's
There you go.
league.
Like
Yep.
a men's league, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Gentlemen's club is definitely something different. But
Listen, I don't know.
hey,
I
but
was on
that's
your
some
level. Oh
working
my
out.
God.
We're like,
Yeah,
yeah, boy
yeah.
time.
All right.
What do you think, Reno?
I mean, finding something that's like, especially like with football, like I don't know what's all offered in like every area, but like I know Greeley has like rec flag football teams you can be like put on as like a free agent, anything like that. So it would still remove that like high impact and full contact of like regular football, but you're still able to play the sport that you're most passionate about. So it's finding those small alterations
That's
to like
cool.
the sport you wanted to play or like used to play that you could still do like throughout the aging population, everything like that. Because I know my girlfriend's on a like rec softball team that's
Mm.
like non-competitive beer league, and there's everyone from like 19-year-olds to like there's a 60-year-old on the team. So it's like you just get to like meet so many people of different backgrounds, everything like that with those rec style sports. So definitely something to look into.
You should start a flag football team.
You know what? I tried to play flag football, but I can't play because um when you play football, it's like I'm going to hit you. And
Muscle
I
memory
know
kicks
the
in.
rules. I know like I know the rules are like don't hit people, but if you run toward me, I'm a stiff arm you. And I stiff armed the shit out of this dude. And I put my hand right into his face and like shoved him down. And he just looked up from the ground like, what the fuck? And it was like, oh, my bad. Muscle memory, friend.
Yep.
Well, it's like if you didn't grow up playing, you're not expecting that. And it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was like, they all kind of looked at me like, have you ever been like the biggest kid on the playground? And it's like, everyone's kind of looking at you like, no, like, don't hit me, don't run over me, don't do anything. And it's like, oh, all right, my bad. But yes, I could do flag football, maybe. Maybe.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm more chill now that I'm a little older.
Break the muscle memory a little bit or try to. And
Yeah, yeah. Try to at least get kicked off the team.
If you could offer any advice to someone who is terrified or highly unmotivated to get into the gym, what would it be?
In terms of terrified, I would suggest there's a couple options. I think if group fitness, like if being in a group, um, I think if you're like scared to go alone, find a friend.
Mhm.
I think again, a trainer is a great option for that in terms of being scared. I've had a lot of people be like, I'm scared I'm gonna hurt myself, or I'm kind of just scared of the gym. Um, so a trainer is also a great option to help bring familiarity and a little bit of confidence in movements. Um, but in terms of motivated, I think you have to find the things that motivate you. Like I'm also someone that kind of needs financial motivation of like I'm paying for this, I'm going to show up. So
Mhm.
again, a trainer's a great way for that. If you're at like any sort of studio or gym that kind of has like no show fees or anything like that, that's a great kind of option. And then again, kind of like a accountability buddy if those aren't a option for you in terms of like financials. An accountability buddy is someone that also needs like motivation so that then you guys can motivate each other.
Mhm.
So that'd be my advice.
Yeah. Kind of same advice there, like finding for the terrified aspect, finding what is terrifying you about the gym, whether it's like fear of injury, fear of like whatever that fear may be, finding some other person that you can go with that would help alleviate that fear, is my best advice there. And as for the motivation part, For me personally, like I've always been a super unmotivated person to go get my ass in and work out. So the pure thing that like helps me with it is realizing like, okay, this is something I don't want to do. So it's just building that discipline up of the gym. Like I'm a big believer. This is going to sound a little bit negative Nancy-ish. I personally hate motivation as a concept for myself because if I only did things based on when I'm motivated to do it, I'd get nothing done because I just want to sit on my ass all day long. So just focusing that discipline aspect of it is my best advice for that. Whether it's like if you need a checklist every day or like the days that you're supposed to go train, like set it up on a calendar, like and put a little box in it, whether you completed it or not. And then you can look back at the end of the month and be like, okay, you know what? I did say 12 of the 15 days I was supposed to go to the gym this month. Like that's not bad. It's a progress and just track that until we can get to that like 100% completion, like viewing it as a win in that way.
That's a
Good
good idea.
advice. I kind of have a question that's kind of piggybacking off of that, kind of.
Mhm.
Have you ever felt gym anxiety or social anxiety before stepping into the gym for the first time? Or have you guys always been, yay, I'm here?
Absolutely. Like when I started working out, I was what, like 14 or so. And at the time I was 75 pounds working out at a bodybuilding gym. So I'm surrounded by like
Oh,
roid heads
Wow.
all over. And I'm like, okay, I'm like the smallest guy in here right now, everything like that. So definitely had like that social anxiety aspect of like being in a place that honestly at the time I did not fit in with. So yeah.
no, I agree. I also have had that just being um a female in a place, the gym that I mean like I started working out seriously in college, and it's like a college rec center is filled with a bunch of college boys. And so that was really intimidating for me. Um, so I got a gym membership. Well, I actually ended up working there, but I started with a gym membership at a gym that was honestly kind of known in our town for like old people because they had a bunch of silver
Mm,
sneaker classes and stuff like that.
Mm,
They really like um tended to the older population of that town. So I liked to work out there because old people were always nice and they were never mean to me and they weren't as scary. So for me, I kind of started a gym that was just less intimidating in terms of the population that they served to build confidence. And then yeah, eventually I transitioned out of that just because they didn't have the equipment that I wanted
mhm,
anymore. But yeah, I just kind of practiced my self-worth and my self-confidence of like, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing great. And even now, like there's certain gyms that I don't like to go to because I think it can be intimidating and filled with a bunch of bodybuilder men that I don't want to be around. So, yeah, I think again, just finding your place where you feel comfortable is important.
For sure. So this is kind of a little piggybacking off of that. What led you to become a trainer and not just be one of the gym rats? Do they really call you guys gym rats? That's
Yeah,
like
that's
a
a term that's
terrible
used for people that are in the
yeah.
gym all the time.
Yeah.
Um, I would say I've probably become less of a gym rat working in a gym,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
but I was motivated to become a trainer. I came from kind of the corporate world. I was a paralegal. And then my fiance's job moved us out here, and I hated being a paralegal, so I kind of wanted to switch up careers and something that I enjoyed, which was fitness. And I worked with athletes. I still work with athletes, so I was kind of already doing the programming aspect. So it was just a matter of getting certified.
Hmm. Kind of same for me. Like mine was I wanted to get out of the service industry fully and not be in kitchens or bartending anymore. Kind of wanted to do something I was already passionate about, which was fitness. And then with a little bit of background of coaching kids, I was like, same thing, just get certified. And then since I'd been writing programs for myself for years, I'm like, it shouldn't be that much harder. And then you kind of get that little bit of culture shock when you start training other people and now have to make modifications because of whatever their situation may be. So that was kind of where I started for it.
So if you weren't a trainer, what would you be doing? I know you'd probably be doing something with cheerleading, but if you couldn't do cheerleading, what would you be doing?
I would probably still, I mean, like if I never became a trainer, I'd probably still be somewhere in the legal world working as a paralegal or an investigator of some sort. Um, Now, like if I wasn't to do training, I would probably, like if it was completely off the table, I'd probably go back to the criminal justice world of some sort, not be a paralegal. Maybe like I'd want to work with youth in some capacity, maybe like a juvenile probation officer or something like that.
Mm, love that.
Yeah.
Um, for myself, like pure realistically speaking, if I didn't become a trainer, I'd still only be in the service industry. I ended up going back already, but you can't get out of that world, unfortunately. But I mean, like dream wise, I mean, if I couldn't be a trainer, I'd probably go back to welding, honestly.
Mm.
Mm, okay. Look at us in our alternate universe. George, if
Hmm.
you
All
could do
right.
anything, what would you do?
If I had an opportunity to start all the way back over, I would have probably went to film school. It was something that I wanted to do like before I wanted to do anything. And people get in your ear like film school, that's so unrealistic. You should do something more realistic kind of situation. And then you start working jobs and you realize, oh, they could actually fire me anytime I want. There is no like quote unquote safe job. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you take the quote unquote safe job because it's like everyone kind of convinces you like
Hmm.
that your dreams are unrealistic and you go the safe route there, son. Like that's your guidance counselor in high school. Take the safe route, son. And
Hmm.
then like you work for like 10, 15 years and you go, these people don't really give a shit about me and they can fire me
Yeah.
anytime I want. Oh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, there's no real safe route, no matter what
Yeah.
like the guidance counselors tell you.
Yeah.
Right.
What would you do, Jenny?
I would be a therapist. I just don't want to do the
Mm-hmm.
schooling. I was going to go to school for that, but then I saw all the courses and I'm like, I
It's a
can't.
lot. You have to
It's
go
a
get your
lot.
It's a lot.
master's at least, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm. And
But
I know in Illinois it doesn't pay that great if I'm being honest.
Mm.
yeah. Yeah. So if I could do that, I would do that. But I do it for free for some people now.
Yeah.
Feel like I just
Yeah.
need some therapy.
Unofficially. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay,
sure.
I have a quick question. Okay,
Mhm.
so there is a ton of like misinformation when it comes to fitness and working out on the internet. Where do you guys go? Like if you wanted to find like legitimate information, is there like a influencer you listen to or like a website you go to? Like where do you guys feel like has like credible information? Because there's a lot of information. But where, like, if I just didn't know anything about anything, where can I get some credible information?
I think in terms of like getting factual information, like say you want to know what the most effective workout is for, I don't know, your quads, or you want to know research on a supplement. I think the biggest thing is to do your own research. Like
Hmm.
I surprisingly learned this in college. Research can be made out to really make anything look like you want it to. So I think just doing a lot of research, reading all of the things out there, like, say you want to start taking creatine, like, what does creatine do? This person might say, like, it's really great for this, and this person might say it's really great for this, and this, research study might say it's not good for this, and it's not good for this. So I think just doing a bunch of research, umbrellaing, reading it all, and then coming to your own conclusion with your body in terms of stuff like that. Um, when I first started training, I was listening to a podcast called Mind Pump. I don't know if you've listened to that, Reno, but it's a bunch of, not a bunch, it's like a couple of trainers who've owned I mean, have trained for years and have like owned gyms or talk about big box gyms and all the things. And they're, in my opinion, really knowledgeable just because they've been in the industry a really long time. So when I listen to some of their podcasts, I value their opinion and advice. Not that I always think it's true. I think like when I first started listening to it, I was like, oh my God, I don't know if I'm cut out for training. Um, just the way that they spoke about it. But um, yeah, Mind Pump is a really good, I think, educational podcast, if you will, when it comes to training. And they're the ones that actually encouraged me to buy these like lifting shoes that I have, and I really love them.
Mm.
Like, I mean, I'm sure they're sponsored by them, but I love the shoes.
Yeah.
Some of the things that they say, like I I take I take to heart and listen to, but other than that, when it comes to like true research on a movement or a supplement or Pilates versus weightlifting, like do your own research and do it with your body as well.
Hmm. That's kind of piggybacking on that. Like you definitely have to do your own research. I don't have like a favorite podcast or influencer or like website that I'll go to. Like especially for like supplementation based, making sure you're like researching enough to see the positives and the negatives from multiple different sources, as well as you're like, again, kind of like we talked about in the last one, finding like credible sellers of said supplement because it's not actually regulated. And then for supplements, also another big one is honestly talking to your primary care provider, like what their opinion is of what your current like health status is of if this supplement would be good for you or not. And then just a little bit of trial and error of like, do you feel an effect with it? Do you not? Everything like that.
I'm gonna piggyback on my question. Have you guys ever like saw someone take something like that you thought was crazy and you just looked and like, what the hell is that? Like, because there's some stuff online like
Hmm.
eat this moose heart supplement. Like, wait, what is that for?
Hmm.
Especially when it comes to like men. There's a lot of like
Oh
stuff
yeah.
that'll be like, you want to be a manly man? Eat this penis. It's like, damn, I don't know if that's the move, but maybe.
I would say like anytime I see anyone taking like those like purely over the counter, like pick it up at CVS testosterone boosters, those are the number one that's like, oh, the ingredients in it are like pomegranate and like and then just a huge list of chemicals. I'm like, okay, I personally don't see any validation in those supplements myself. Like, sure, there might be studies that say that those ingredients do boost your testosterone a little bit, but the point that it will boost your testosterone, it's really not enough to see a difference, in my personal opinion.
I think the only thing that I see that concerns me is when people will like shotgun like a monster with pre-workout.
Oh
Like
yeah,
that is
yeah,
not good
yeah.
for your heart,
Yeah.
probably. So stuff like that freaks me out. I'm like,
Hmm.
hey, is your heart okay?
Yeah.
Um, there is a caffeine limit that you're not supposed
Hmm.
to really surpass.
Yep.
Are we surpassing that? Did you have a cup of coffee when you woke up and then you did that when you came to the gym? Like we're probably getting close to that like caffeine overdose.
Hmm.
Yeah, stuff like that freaks me out.
Yeah.
You'll see that a lot on social media, when someone like
Yeah.
dry scoops the pre-workout and then
Yeah.
shotguns the energy drink, and it's like, oh my God, is your heart okay? Yeah.
Mhm. The people that
The
get me to
gym,
drink like seven like energy drinks in a row, I'm just like,
Yeah, you have
oof.
to be careful. You have to be careful with that
yeah,
stuff
for
for
sure.
sure.
Hmm.
And track your caffeine intake because, like,
Yeah.
I think people are like, oh, I love a good Celsius. Well, Celsius is 200 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
you also have a cup of coffee this morning? And did you also have like a green tea midday? That's a lot of caffeine in a day. We're
Hmm.
getting close to that like 400 range, which is scary.
Did you have something to add, George?
No, it's just I always just think it's so funny when you see these guys. Oh, you know what? I do have a personal concern. What what do you guys think about when you see all these young people? Because it's becoming quite the issue. All these young people using steroids,
Mm.
like You got any thoughts on that? Like, I'm very anti-steroid, but I guess to each his own, but
Yeah. I
they're
mean,
using it earlier and earlier.
it's a genuine concern for me. And like coming from someone that at one point did contemplate being one of those young people that jump on because you see all these social media influencers that are 2 years older than you and have like full step on stage at the Olympia bodies, everything like that. It's definitely, I can see the appeal for it, but at the same time, I'm very concerned about it just because of all of the super negative effects of it, and especially some of the steroids that people are taking now, like in specific, like Trenbolone Tren. That was a steroid designed purely for use in cattle, and now we're using it in humans. Like that is beyond scary to me because yeah, we know the side effects it has in cattle, but most of those cattle with that they were injecting Trenbolone in and stuff were ones in slaughter yards to just get more muscle for more produce, everything like that.
I did not know
So, yeah, the only reason I know about that is because my mom's in the vet world for large animals. So that was the only reason I knew about that one.
that.
But so, and we're just using it. So at least a lot of the other steroids, such as like just pure tests, human growth hormone, everything like that, we at least have a little bit of knowledge about on like what the potential side effects are, everything like that. Where this one, we don't even know really like long-term effects in animal testing, let alone what it does to humans. So that's kind of where I stand on it. It scares me a lot with how many young people in specific are taking steroids now.
I personally don't have a lot of knowledge on testosterone or even
Hmm.
steroids or really anything. I mean, being a college athlete, it was always like, no, no,
Hmm.
no, 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 those are bad. Um, and I was just like, yeah, sure, I don't, performance enhancing drugs, no, thank you, good on that. So I've never honestly done a lot of research. I'm not like super knowledgeable.
Hmm.
That's why I was like, wow, I did not know that. Um, yeah, I think it's probably not great for you
Yeah.
long term.
Well,
Hmm.
there's a rise in young women taking steroids.
Hmm.
So you
Yeah.
even see it in like you'll see them at the gym and it'd be like, God damn, like like yes, women can get, but there's a certain if you start doing enough of it, it'll change the way your body composition looks.
Hmm.
Right.
So men and women have different skeletons. And if, you start taking enough steroids, you as a woman, it like really does some crazy stuff
Hmm.
to you. And especially if you're under a certain age and you're just a teenager, your body is still like changing,
Hmm.
like I grew like an extra inch when I turned like 19. So you
Hmm.
could still grow at a certain age. So if
Hmm.
you're messing with steroids in high school and
Right.
it's doing some crazy damage to you, like I guess you look kind of but I always had this thing with guys at the gym about muscles and beach muscles, right? You see these guys who are super jacked up and they're making all these noises, and then you look over and they got like 25 pounds in their hands, and it's like, well, what
Hmm.
what are you actually doing? Like, are you trying to look strong and not be strong at the same time? And then once you get off of those steroids, you just go back to the way you were before.
Hmm.
So I always had a very negative thing about steroids personally, but
I
I
think
thought it went away, and then it definitely came back.
No.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, I guess, in someone debating or contemplating steroids is think about how it may affect your hormones long term.
Hmm.
Because like right now you're like, young and dumb and I want to look the best I can look. As you age, your testosterone decreases, especially in men. I mean, women, especially our hormones are so fragile. So I think the biggest thing would be, I would think long term how that may affect your hormones,
Hmm.
and what that might look like if you ever want to have a family or anything like that. For like teenagers who maybe do not have fully developed brains, how that may affect your brain.
Hmm.
Um, because if it's not fully developed, it may have, and I'm no scientist on this stuff, but if it's affecting your hormones, it's probably affecting your growth hormones, which is maybe affecting your brain.
Hmm.
But yeah, I just think long-term implications, like it might be great to look like this now, even if you're not a teenager and you're in your 20s and you want to look, the hottest you've ever looked or whatever. But especially for women, our hormones are such a fragile, like little ecosystem, in my opinion. It's like, what are the long-term implications, especially for a woman who may potentially want to have a family?
Hmm.
Um, yeah, biggest advice, just long term. What's your goals long term in life? Like at the end of the day, everyone ages.
Hmm.
So yeah, are the look backs of the pictures worth it if you don't have a family to share it with?
Yeah.
That's kind of like a scary. Do you remember those old like meth commercials that
Oh,
would
yeah. I was
Oh yeah,
actually
yeah,
just
for
talking
sure.
about those the other day, and
it's like
it's like
or
one of
that
the few commercials still ingrained in my head from like childhood
yes, that's
is like just those ones.
saying
Yeah.
that I felt like one of those meth commercials.
Hmm.
Maybe cut that out. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
It's true. All right. I have been extremely discouraged. How would you help motivate or approach people like me?
Hmm.
This person's extremely discouraged.
Mhm.
Um, what are your goals and why are they important? Like if you can dig deep into your why, right? So
Hmm.
you might ask someone why they want to come to the gym. Well, I want to look good and all that things. Well, why is it
Hmm.
important to feel good? Dig a little deeper, dig a little deeper. Really, people are like, well, I want to be strong enough to keep up with my kids. Like they're in high school. I want to be around long enough to see them get married and to have kids and play with my grandkids on the ground.
Hmm.
Um, so if you can really dig deep into that why of why it's important to you, not just surface level, I want to lose weight, I want to look good in a bikini. Like, why is it important that you look good in a bikini? Well, I've
Hmm.
never felt confident enough to be at a beach in a bikini. Okay, why have you not felt confident enough? Like, if you can really dig deep to the core of your why and then have enough, this might sound harsh, but have enough self-respect for yourself to really like hold on to that and then stay
Hmm.
true to it. And when you're, like Reno said, when you're feeling unmotivated, looking at your why and the core and then respecting yourself enough to say, this is why I'm doing this, not because I'm motivated. This is truly why. And sometimes going in and like getting a 30-minute workout in that maybe what is the shittiest workout of your life is better than saying, no, I'm just going to stay home.
Hmm.
Or again, sometimes life comes in the way, and instead of saying, "Oh my gosh, I literally do not have time to go to the gym and go to the grocery store and cook dinner and do all of these things that I need to do." Okay, well, I'm gonna honor myself and respect myself and what I want and why this is important for me. I'm at least gonna go on a 30-minute walk and I'm gonna take my dog and my kids and I'm gonna kill two birds with one stone. So I think if you can really, really dig into your why, like why is it important that you want to lose weight? Sometimes people are like, I got told a story. This isn't my story, but I got told a story by a different trainer who did a practice consultation with another trainer. And she was like, why is it important that you're going to lose weight? And it really came down to like, I feel like a fraud because I'm telling these people to live a certain life and I can't even live it. And then it got even deeper into like their childhood stuff of like never feeling good enough. So like it really is deep for some people and I think for most people. And so I think if you can ice pick down into your soul of why
Hmm.
this is important to you, and even if there is no sole purpose or, you're someone that's always hated fitness, that's okay. But if you can look longevity of why, well, I want to be living independently when I'm 80. So
Hmm.
mobility and strength is important for that, right? So if you can be proactive now, you're going to save yourself medical bills. You're going to save yourself in-home care bills when you're 80 because you're independent and you can
Hmm.
pick a cast iron pan off the highest shelf in your kitchen and not throw your shoulder out or walk down the stairs or up the stairs without the railing and still be an independent person. Sorry, that was a long tangent.
Oh no, that's exactly what I was gonna say is like finding that deep why on like, and sometimes it will be those super deep reasons. And then other times, even if you go all the way to the core, it may be something you just want to do. Like, I'm going to throw my dad on full blast on this one. The only reason he goes into the gym, and he's said it, is he goes in, what, 5 days a week for about an hour each time. And the only reason he does it is because breakfast food is his favorite food ever, but he knows how unhealthy like
Yes.
gravy is,
Yes.
all of that. So he's like, okay, I'm in my 50s. I have to do this so that way I can continue to do something that I love. So it's just finding that deep why and using that to fuel you in getting it done that day.
Listen, you don't have to have a good time while you're
No,
there.
no, you can hate it the entire time.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, it's okay. But yeah, I think people forget that like especially like me and Reno are young. It's easy to be like, I'm gonna jump in the gym and or like I don't need to worry about that. I'm only in my 20s or 30s. But
mhm,
as you age, the aches and pains come and
mhm,
things get a little harder and you're like even now being a college athlete, I did a stunt like a couple weeks ago and I was like, we used to do that for 3 hours, 7 days a week. Like my
yeah,
body was hurting the next day. And so yeah, just like I really think sometimes even if you can't find your why, like the longevity of like wanting to live independently, I think most people can relate to of like not
mhm,
wanting to end up, in like a nursing home or anything like that. Of like at the end of the day, this is going to prevent that as long as you can.
mhm.
I hear people say this all the time, so I hope I say it right. But how do women get rid of the dreaded fupa?
Fupa.
Oh, the fupa.
The fupa.
Now we're talking. This is usually after dark conversation, but yeah,
I think
yeah.
I think it's hard. I think that's probably one of the spots in women that most women are really insecure about. I mean, including myself. It's it's first off important to recognize that there are organs in that area for most women that are there to produce children. And it needs
Mhm,
to be protected by a little extra fat because we're meant to, well, first off, women are meant to have even a higher fat contents at a healthy level versus
mhm,
men. Um, but also that there are organs there for women that men don't have.
mhm,
Um, in terms of like trying to combat that or just maybe be more confident in that as a lot of core work. And you want to think deep core, like pelvic floor core work. Again, like I talked about, zipping up like a zipper from your pelvic floor to your sternum of deep breathing, deep core breathing. There's a lot of research and new training you could say in terms of this deep core work. Um, light cardio helps shed fat. Light, not light, but like low impact is the word I'm looking for. Low impact cardio. Like walking is really great for losing fat. Walking is honestly really great for losing fat. So like walking, core work, um, and then yeah, just realizing that the woman's body is like built to have extra fat and organs in
mhm.
that area of
Yeah.
like if you drink too much water as a woman, that's the first place you like bloat.
Mhm,
So yeah, core work, core work, deep core work, pelvic floor core work. Like we're not peeing when we jump type of pelvic core work. And it's hard. You got to figure out how to connect to it first. You got to
mhm.
figure out how to like even activate those muscles. So, yeah, tangent.
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much the same thing, like deep core work. But the other thing that we really have to remember on top of like what Emily said of that you guys have those extra organs, you are meant to have that extra layer of fat as protection. Spot reducing fat doesn't exist. You can't pinpoint one part of the body just to lose fat on. Um, so with that, I mean, yes, still focusing deep core work. The one thing we can do is change the muscle structure to change how the body looks. So that's where that deep core work, everything like that comes into play.
Learning so much. What are
All
some
right,
myths and truths of the fitness industry?
hmm.
Miracle Supplements is my number one of like, because you asked what were the like lies and truths of the fitness industry, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
Miracle supplements that are gonna make you, whether it's jacked overnight, lose 20 pounds overnight. That's the biggest lie in my opinion. Nothing with fitness is gonna come overnight. It's all gonna be delayed gratification. We're not gonna get it immediately. It may take 6 months. It may take like a year, depending on what your goal is. It can take some time. So that's the biggest lie, in my opinion.
No, I agree with Reno. I think I think the wellness industry as a whole, whether it's supplements, whether it's fitness, whether it's like, I don't know, I think sometimes it's kind of like a money pit scam.
Mhm.
And I hate to say that because I do think some things promote, healthy living. But I think
Mhm.
sometimes it's really easy to be like, I want the clean girl aesthetic who has the matching set and takes creatine and all these like supplements and this fat burner that's
Mhm.
especially for women. They have like, oh, this fat burner is gonna help me lose fat. Um, it's not actually burning fat. It's a whole different
Mhm.
process. But anyway, I have to agree. I think sometimes it can become a little bit scammy and a little bit of like a money pit. Like you have to spend all this money and, buy my program and get fit in 2 weeks or, whatever. But I think, yeah, those are the biggest myths of like lock in. We have 4 weeks till summer. Do this core workout with me and you're gonna be snatched. Like that's not really how it works. Consistency is key. And again, the spot of like fat loss is kind of crazy. Yeah, I agree with Reno.
I have one more question. We've got through them all.
So,
So, for someone who has not worked out in years, how would you encourage them and motivate them to keep going and stay motivated, I guess?
Not have worked out in years. First step, get into the gym.
mhm.
First step. Whether it's or a studio, like if you're like, I hate everything that's lifting, go try yoga.
Mhm.
Go try water aerobics. Go try everything and figure out what you like and then stick with it.
Mhm.
So like if you haven't worked out in years and years and years and you're like, I don't even know what I like, all I know is I don't like fitness or I don't like working out, try to find whether it's a group fitness class, whether it's an app of like that shows you, that kind of programs for you and you follow the app workouts. Like find something that you think you'll enjoy and or can stick with, or
Mhm.
both ideally, and do that and go from there and then be consistent. Build, I'm reading a book right now that's kind of about habits, but build those habits. Research has found that habits take away the self-control aspect and the decision-making aspect, which makes life easier, is essentially what this book is saying so far. So if you can build those habits of like, I don't want to go, but I'm going to go anyway, and life, this habit, it's gonna it's gonna serve you in the end. But yeah, essentially finding something that you like first would be ideal. Because if you like it, you're more likely to show up. Or if you like the people that are around you doing it, you're more
Mhm.
likely to show up. So if it's a group fitness class and you love Susie, the instructor, it's gonna make it easier to show up.
I mean, my biggest advice on top of that is starting with baby steps. Like, we don't need to jump straight into the deep end. So like if you haven't worked out in years, don't like immediately set this like standard of yourself that you need to go 6 days a week. Start with like one, start slowly getting in that comfort zone of going in that one time a week, then throw in that second day, throw in that third day, whatever it may look like for you to make sure that it is a goal that's obtainable at first rather than jumping straight into the deep end. So,
That's really good advice.
My advice, not that anybody wants my advice, but
mhm.
go find a trainer. That was my situation. It was high school that I worked out last, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And one night at 2 a.m., I was doom scrolling, and I'm just like, I'm gonna find a trainer. They'll teach me what to do. They'll help
Mhm.
me. And here I am, a year and a half later, and
Yeah.
you're on my podcast. So it's like find a trainer, and they can help you. And There's so many avenues that you can take. So
Hmm.
Right.
yeah, small steps. Mhm.
Hmm.
I'll throw out a little bit of info. It's important to figure out where you are currently, right? Because if you're somebody who, let's say, I'll use myself for example. I lifted heavy weights for a really long time, right? And then the pandemic happened. Well, I don't have heavy weights at my house, right? So I'm using bands and like, whatever weights I can muster up and like whatever, like goofy things I could lift. Like I'm trying to find like the heaviest things in my house to like curl and stuff, And then once the gym opened back up, well, the gyms were closed for a long time, right? So I went in and I jumped in, and boy, did I hurt myself. I was hurting for days, right? Because it's like there's nothing you can really mimic, right? Like if I'm bench pressing 200 something pounds, right? There's nothing I can mimic at my house that's going to do the same thing. So I haven't been lifting that weight for almost 2 years, and then you go in there and it's like, ooh, like that doesn't supposed to hurt like that.
Hmm.
And it's important to listen to your body, right? Because that's the thing. I'm older than all of you guys, and that's the thing, like that no one really tells you, right? Like all these like lifting heavy weights and all this weightlifting, it catches up to you. Like, yes, it's good for you, but it's like there's certain exercises that I just can't do anymore, or I can still do them. I just can't lift the amount of, and it's like I had to like tell myself that it's okay. And it sounds crazy, like to tell yourself you don't have to squat 400 pounds. Like it's a like because it's like most of your friends who you started lifting with back in the day, they don't lift at all anymore, right? Or they just don't go to the gym at all. So it's like there's no one you can really talk to about this. And it's like, and it seems like a weird thing to complain about. Like, my back hurts, man. I was squatting like 400 pounds, and they're looking at you like, why were you doing that? And then you gotta like kind of talk to yourself like, yeah, why am I doing that?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to like push anyone over like that anymore. I don't do that stuff anymore.
Hmm.
But it's hard, man. It's hard when you're used to your body doing a certain thing and then you just one day it's like you just realize, yeah, I don't think I can do that anymore. Or you just
Hmm.
don't want to anymore. And it's
Yeah.
it's important to tell yourself that it's okay that you don't want to anymore. Because it's like you get in your head like, what am I, a fucking lazy guy now? What am I like a, just a washed up dad? But it sounds crazy to like someone who doesn't really lift weights. Like,
Hmm.
oh, damn, my bench is under 300 pounds. And it's like, you're saying this to people who you work at an office building with, and they're looking at you like, you bench press 300 pounds. Why do you do that? It's like, because that's just what I was used to doing.
Hmm.
But then it was like, well, I don't need to do that anymore. And it was like,
Yeah.
you know what? It's okay.
Yeah. I think that's great advice. I
Hmm.
think, if you were an athlete growing up and you used to do all this stuff, or, you were just really active and then you know, circumstances changed, even if it was just the pandemic.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think it's important to be like, it's okay that I can't do that, or I'm choosing not to do that anymore,
Hmm.
or my body's needs have changed. I think another thing to keep in mind too, that first day when you go back, whatever you do, you're probably going to be sore. Don't let that discourage you.
Hmm.
Like expect it and just know you worked muscles in your body that you probably have not used in a while. And that's okay. And that's honestly a good thing. As long as you're
Hmm.
not in pain, not that being sore is not painful, but um, just expect it and don't let it discourage you and don't let it be an excuse of why you can't go back.
Hmm.
So I think a lot of people are like, "Ooh, I needed like a 2-day break." Don't let it be an excuse. You can let it modify you in terms of like, if you went to a group fitness class and they did a lot of legs, and then the next one you go to is a lot of legs, you can definitely modify those movements,
Hmm.
but don't let it be the excuse of why you don't go.
Hmm.
For sure. So fitness kind of goes into self-care, and we haven't really gotten to that. What is something you guys do for self-care for you guys?
Do you want the healthy answer or the unhealthy answer that I do? Because
Oh,
Yes.
both. I need to hear both now.
Yes.
years in the service industry, definitely like if it's been a long day, I'm like going straight, reaching straight for that bourbon bottle and having a drink or two. Healthy wise, going for a walk is my biggest one. Like just a good like outdoor walk once it kind of gets like a little past sundown time. Like those are my two biggest self-care ones, and then journaling. Those are like the three ones that I do. Like I said, you got the healthy ones, and then you got the one that's not the best, but
It works for you. Mhm.
yeah.
Love it. I think in terms of self-care, for me, movement can be very therapeutic. So
Hmm.
it's really like, and it's usually low impact movement. That's the therapeutic mo movement for me. So like walking, like Reno said, I love to walk meatball. I know that sounds weird, but I just feel like we're connected. So we have to walk. And then sometimes I can't get myself to kind of process or shut down. So even taking like a instructor led yoga class can be really helpful for me. Um, big one is like being outside. Big
Hmm.
one's being outside in nature, like feet on grass, bare feet on grass or in river is ideal. But
I love that.
There is always these crazy debates about hydration and about water. And I think when I first started getting back into the gym a few years ago, I was like, oh, I need to drink like crazy amounts of water. And one day I was just kind of like, wait, what's how much water should I even be drinking? And then you start looking at like, some of the stuff online and you hear like just crazy stuff, like 1 gallon, 2 gallons. And it's like you hear like and you see the guys at the gym with their giant gallons of water and it's like how often do you drink that? Or like how much water do you guys suggest that someone should be drinking? Did it depend on age, body type, you know, gender?
I think ba this sounds so weird. I think base it off your pee because
Yeah.
medications affect how much water you need to be drinking. Supplements affect how much water you need to be drinking. Probably I mean activity levels, maybe age. I'm not sure on that. But
Hmm.
I always tell clients like base it off your pee. You want to have like a slightly yellow tinted pee. You don't want to be like clear, clear. Um, not that clear pee is bad. You can have clear pee, but that means you're really hydrated. Um, you also don't want to have like orange pee. You know what I'm saying? So I always tell clients base it off of your pee and how you're feeling. Like if you're feeling really thirsty, you probably are really thirsty.
Hmm.
So yeah, things to just keep in mind, like medications can affect that, supplements can affect that. So I really think trusting your body and activity levels and then yeah, basing it off of your pee.
Hmm. Yeah, that's the best advice that I have for it because like there's so many things with the body that could impact how much water we need in the day, like Emily said, supplements or I mean even diet. Like if we have a really high sodium diet, guess what? Now you have to drink twice as much water just because you're dehydrating yourselves with such a heavy sodium diet. Like for myself, if I was to go to like someplace, like let's say I go to like Buffalo Wild Wings, the next day I know I'm so dehydrated with how high it is in sodium that I'm chugging water almost all day long, and it's still not enough for my system. So purely based it off of kind of like what Emily said, what your pee is, like the tint of it, and then just how your body feels. Like if you're drinking water and you're like constantly feeling like waterlogged, everything like that, you can feel it sloshing around in your stomach. Maybe tune back a little bit, but just purely listen to your own body.
Mhm.
Nice. Do you have anything else, George?
Let's see. I always got a lot to say. Got anything? I
No, I
always
went
got a
through
lot
my
of things. You
5,000
went through all your
questions. Thanks
questions?
for pairing with me, guys.
If you guys could give like one piece of advice to someone who just doesn't know anything about fitness, what would their one piece of advice be?
Get a trainer.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
It's
It's
an
Yeah.
investment in yourself, really, at the
mhm,
end of the day. Because anything that we tell you, we teach you, you keep forever, and then you're investing in your health, which at the end of the day, like that's a huge investment in yourself. So, yeah, get a trainer and it's worth the investment in my opinion. I know I'm a little biased, but if you really have no idea where to start, that's the best stepping stone.
Can confirm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank y'all.
Yeah,
Thanks for
yeah.
being our
See you
first party
later.
pod.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Bye, y'all.
See
Have a
y'all.
great
A lot
night,
of
you
good
guys.
information out there.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, we'll tag all their information again. And if you have more questions, yeah, get a trainer. I can't recommend it enough because if you don't know what you're doing, it's great. If you need accountability, it's great. If you need motivation, it's great. If you just do it for a month, like she said, invest in yourself. You can't go wrong.
There's a lot of gyms that'll even give you like a couple free sessions, like,
Mhm.
and you can learn a lot from a trainer in just a couple of sessions because a lot of the times the trainers will take away some of that anxiety. Sometimes it's like, just like in anything in life, you just need someone who knows what they're doing to tell you that it's okay.
Mhm. For sure.
Yeah,
Your first ever
indeed.
party pod.
Sound like
So
you were gonna
cool.
say something else. You were gonna say, "Ooh, oh."
It's getting to be after hours.
Hey, hey, yo. Indeed.
For sure. Well, very informative. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you have any more questions, any other topics you want us to talk about,
Mhm.
comment, message,
Mhm.
email us, anything at all. I'm an unofficial, unlicensed therapist. You can
Mhm. Don't forget, we're everywhere.
wherever you
We're on the TikTok,
got
we're
you.
on the Facebook, we're on the YouTube, we're everywhere, and we're always watching. You know what I'm saying?
And we got a
Creep
killer
side.
workout playlist.
Indeed, if you do
Apparently, we need
need,
to add more country to it. My bad.
maybe, yeah.
We are working on
Yeah.
a country playlist, so
It's gonna
we
come
got
out
you.
one of these days.
We hear you. We got you.
I had to do my research because I didn't know a lot of songs, so I had to see what was hot and then listen to it and then be like, oh, okay, I like that. I can dig it. I can dig it. Next time you see me, I might have a cowboy hat on, you know?
Please do. Even better if it's the tiny one. The little
The
tiny.
little one who sat on the
Yeah.
top of the head.
Yeah.
Like, let's go.
Yeah. You can even get
Indeed.
yourself a little lasso. We're
Mm,
gonna get real country up in here. Well,
man.
thank you for tuning in, everybody. Until next time, keep it weird, not creepy. And we will see you
Mm,
next time. Have a great night,
yeah.
George.
Peace.